Hey collective, it's Mikaylalori back with another video. Long time no see. Today we're just gonna get some general messages for the month of October. And I don't know if it's just me, but my September completely flew. I had a great time. It was very enlightening, to say the least. I learned a lot in the month of September, especially about myself. And I have just kind of been enjoying my gift upgrades. And everybody knows that when we get these gift upgrades, they do come with a little bit of a little sprinkle, if you know what I mean. So that card did flip out. We have King of Pentacles if you didn't get to see it. But we're just gonna go see what is the overall gist that we need to be on the lookout for. What do we need to be on the lookout for, or what do we need to know in the month of October 2024 for my collective? So right now I'm seeing combative energy and energy where you may be keeping to yourself this month, with the Four of Pentacles consistently trying to pop out, and we had the Tower flipped over. So if you feel like you shutting up and putting yourself in a space where you are not going to be reactive, if you feel like that's the safest thing to do, don't let anybody discourage or make you feel like it's not. That is quite literally the thing to do right now, because there's a lot of energies trying to trick you out of your spot, or just trying to make you self-sabotage. And again, oh wow, cannot make this up. I did say that combative energy, and here we see them fighting with sticks. But what is it over? We had the King of Pentacles come out first, followed by fighting over this Queen of Pentacle energy. So when we have these two together, King and Queen of Pentacles, they are on their thrones. They have their pentacle held in hand. So when it comes to, I'll say us, when it comes to us, underlying energy being the Magician, that throne that they're sitting on is our birthright. And I split the deck with the Magician being here. There are people, and if you're watching this video, you already know the type of people that we deal with. It comes to, you know, destiny swapping and things of the sort. A lot of us have only just recently woken up to it. And it's funny because the moon is peeking out. Somehow this card got in reverse. I just flipped it. But yeah, you're seeing through the illusions. You're working on yourself and you're not taking the bait. So a lot of things that you are going to be experiencing in the month of October, which I call spooky season, because just energetically, October and during the fall is when the veil is the most thin, and we can communicate freely, like extra freely, on accident even, with the spirit world. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to want to have you in that Ten of Swords, backstab, betrayal, feeling jaded energy. And what you need to know is to stay out of that energy. Work on yourself. Tend to your garden. I don't know if this is death peeking out. Oh, that's party. Three of Cups. But yeah, don't get caught up. Otherwise, you will have a Tower. Boom. Can't make this up. So the Tower and the Star, just alluding to someone is trying to get you out of your element in a way to where you will have no one to blame except for yourself. When all of this hits the fan, it's going to be like, yeah, you did it to yourself. But what people won't see is the strings being pulled in the background that are coercing you into getting into these self-sabotage energy. So yeah, you're being called to remember who the heck you are this month. Yes, you're too good to reply to that comment. You know that comment is trying to rile you up. Yes, you're better than going to that party. You haven't been out to that type of setting in 2 years. Don't do it just because, oh, I haven't. No. Know who you are so you can walk away from people with no shame. You know who you could be, but that's not who you are. So yeah, by you walking away from these trap-like moments, you are going to be getting opportunities handed to you. So expect communication. The more you are kind of navigating yourself out of this trickster, very ghoulish energy, you will be getting calls that show you why you had to say no, or show you the benefit of saying no. Because It's fall, and what do we do in fall? We gather, we commune, we get together around family. You are making space to really have that right now. And it's easy to fall it's easy to fall. It's easy to fall back into old ways of being, especially during the holiday times, and we are freshly at the opening of, the holiday season. So with the page of wands followed by the page of swords, if you get caught up in all of this bait like energy that we're seeing, you already see what's coming. We saw what came. If you go back to those humble beginnings, death is waiting for you. So on a more positive note, putting a end to those kind of habits, again, like I said, is going to be calling in those really good opportunities that you guys have been manifesting, that you guys have been putting on your dream boards, that you've been working towards. And if you're someone who hasn't put in the work, this message is not for you. I'm talking directly to people who have spent countless hours refining themselves and kind of recoursing the energy that has been plaguing us since about 2019, 2020. We are at the height of it all, and a lot of us are seeing clearly. So if you've done the work and you are seeing clearly, you're seeing the shift in the world right now. We are in the new world order, and if you're part of this collective, you are definitely helping to usher in that first energetic wave. And that first energetic wave requires us to really operate out of our full gifts, to really be in touch with what we're hearing and what we're seeing. And you can't be in that mode if you're easily distracted, if you're easily getting caught up in, like I said, this bait like energy that we have back here, people trying to trick you out of your spot. You're not able to focus if you are giving energy to those kind of people. So yeah, it's going to be a time where you need to stand your ground, be okay with saying no, be okay with being in that hermit energy. It's a little Tekka song, and he's like, we grind in the wintertime, flex in the summertime. That's kind of the energy, and here with the chariot as confirmation. So as we enter fall, and I'm not saying to go full hermit mode, but definitely pull your energy back. It's easy to get pulled into old cycles when you kind of have your life on display, or people feel that there is a opening for them to enter. So if I am at home all day, or let me not say I'm at home all day, but if I am at home and every chance I get, I'm snapping a selfie to where it looks like, I'm living the good life, or I have it like this, or I have it like that. If I am putting myself on a global stage in front of others, I cannot get mad when someone says, hey, let's hang out. I think that you would match the aesthetic for this place perfectly, or I think you would love this vibe. It's based off of what you're putting out, what you'll be getting back. So if you know anything about an empress, everybody can't access an empress, okay? She's literally on her throne. She's very well dressed, hair done, crown on. Do not lower, do not take off your crown, do not hide your crown. I forget what movie this was, but basically it was like royalty going out into the public or the general area because they want to experience what it's like to be normal. This is not a time for that. We literally live in the world where we are normal with everybody else, but spiritually, your ranking. So when you know your ranking spiritually, you need to be in places that are conducive to the emotions that are that of an empress or an emperor. So solitude, because you definitely need it to be in the right state of mind, and not partaking in things that make you tend to old wounds. So I have a rule for myself. I'm a smoker, so when I smoke, I don't try to smoke when I am in low energy. That doesn't help me. I prefer to smoke after I've taken myself out of a ugly mood, but I'm not going to be smoking just because I'm feeling a sense of pain or betrayal. A lot of people get into situations because it's like, oh girl, he just broke up with me, we're gonna go hit the bar. No, if that's something you're dealing with right now, it would be more beneficial for you to be in a space that builds up your confidence, not gaining, admiration from lustful eyes. That's not conducive or progressive to healing your heart. That'll get you into stickier situations. And that's just an example. So we're going to move on from that. So yeah, with this 10 of sword energy followed by the 3 of pentacles, again, this is very indicative of being careful with who you work with. I'm going to go ahead and cover that graphic so I don't get blocked off of YouTube, but who you're collaborating in the month of October and in the season of fall can put you in this energy. This is self-sabotage, okay? She's in a puddle of what seems to be her piss. She's tied up with a whole bunch of knives behind her, but she can pretty much get out of this. I'm not gonna lie to you. She just needs to wiggle, try her best, not make it obvious to where she's exerting all of her power and gets exhausted. But even if she was to fall forward, she could wiggle herself out of this. Like, the swords are in the ground. Even if she's to fall on a sword, it's not necessarily going to cut her. And if it does, it shouldn't be that deep. So yeah, the people that you're hanging around, remember, like I said in the beginning, it's going to be a point where if anything should go down, it's gonna look like, yeah, you made that choice on your own. You had the option and you did that to yourself, by yourself. And trust me when I say people are willing to just, when your SSA becomes grass, people will leave you high and dry. Don't expect anybody to be ride or die. And that is confirmed with this 5 of sword energy. If someone has to cut off their finger to save their hand and you happen to be that finger, they gonna go. You gonna have to walk away, but they're gonna protect themselves because that's kind of just human nature. But the kicker here is this is planned energy. So you're being called to not go into it at all. Because while you may think it's just, you know, oh, that's my friend, we hang out when I come down on breaks or da 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 da, it's not necessarily your friend you're dealing with. You are seeing the vessel of your friend, but the underlying energy, the entity that is overtaking or operating from your friend's vessel, has an ulterior motive. They are here to kill, steal, destroy, just demonic energy or oppressive energy. They want to trick you out of your spot. And it's not so they can have it, but it's so you don't get it. Follow. So yeah, with that magician energy, you guys are being asked to kind of get into your alchemy bag, where anything meant for destruction will be turned around for good. So it doesn't matter if you have 1, 2, 3 people trying to get in your way. You know that you can take one and you can move forward. You can leave all of them and still have it work out for your betterment, or for, I guess that's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, stay in this childlike energy and approach it with a, you know, kind of a kiddie approach, to where you're not offending anybody. There's this meme and it's like, oh, I can't hang out. The prophecy said that you would betray me. And you having insight to how something is going to end does not mean you need to expose what you know or show your hand. And that goes back to this childlike energy, followed by the Page of Cups. So again, pages are beginner, like very entry level energy. It's not the worst thing. It doesn't mean unstudied, but it just means, like, you know, very surface level. You're not going to want to expose your hand or give up how you know what you know. A lot of people will see that you're onto them and they'll continue with the long game to see how much you'll expose about what you know. So they'll play dumb, and if you call them out, they'll even go as far as saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. You're this. Where'd you get that from? Oh yeah, you're really delusional, because they think you don't know. So don't be out here exposing your hand, because at the end of the day, you know what's promised to you. And if you're not going to let anybody trick you out of your spot, sometimes it's better to just let them not do it than to let them know you know they're doing it. I'm not getting that October is the month where you need to be flat out calling people's bluffs. You do not get paid unless you're a reader like me and you actually get paid to call somebody's bluff. Right now is not the time to be calling anybody's bluff. Like I said in the beginning, tend to your own garden right now. Tending to your own garden is not always going to look pleasant to others. That's what you need to understand. So tending to your garden might look like self-isolation. It might look like you're being selfish. It might look like you're not being considerate. But if that's what is required for you to be in a mind and a heart space to where you can move forward energetically, then that's just what it has to be. Balance is being brought to you on all 4 fronts if you allow it, especially emotionally. Like I was saying, this funky energy we've been in since about 2019, it's phasing out, but it's going to keep those who are stuck, which I did a channel message, which is going to be my industry message if you want to check that out. We're kind of moving out of those phases, or that illusionary energy of not being supported, not being heard. The sun shines again. You guys are going to be able to celebrate, but right now is not that time. So while others are out partying and enjoying the fruit of their labor, we're still in harvest mode. Like I said, that little Tekka song, we grind in the wintertime, flex in the summertime. Right now, you guys are working so that you can move forward. So while they are living it up and doing what they want to do, and you might feel like you're left out in the cold, understand that is not the case. Like I said, you're tending to your own garden, or you're being asked to really focus on tending to your own garden right now, because that is what's going to bring you the most fulfillment. You cannot have fulfillment with others if you're not first fulfilled within yourself. So giving yourself a cup to drink from, which again, like I said, looks like solitude, looks like meditation, looks like being reflective, looks like being introspective, because that is what is required of us at this time. I don't know how much clearer this can get. If you're going to be bound to anything right now, let it be yourself. And again, not in this materialistic, egotistical way, but in a way that is giving you clarity. And when you see the devil card, it's not always talking about something negative, but it's talking about the things that we are attached to, the things that control us. So if you can see heartbreak coming, you most likely would want to avoid that. You again are going to want to approach these situations with like, not, oh girl, you know I can't come. It's more so, oh, I would love to come, but right now I have something else to do. So kind of just playing the long game and not exposing your hand, choosing the more peaceful approach, not crying over spilled cups. Like, yes, you might have wanted to go to that event. Yes, you may have wanted to hang out with a certain group of people. But if you got a heads up beforehand and you know that some stuff might go down, stay clear of the area. Steer clear of the area. What good is guidance if you're not going to follow it? There are some people who are able to get insight before you do. So just because you might not feel like a message applies to you doesn't mean that it won't. So I would say, as with any reader, and I do encourage, spiritual freedom and consulting with God and your guides for yourself. Take heed to a lot of warnings that you're seeing. And so I'm going to show you guys what's peaking. So again, we have this beginner energy, and that beginner energy comes out as people who are supposed to be kindred spirits, but they're really here to keep you binded or bound to old timelines, right? And they are energetically in the ethers and in the astrals fighting for what is yours. Like I said, that throne with the King of Pentacles that came out first, they know that we sit on that naturally. And boom, y'all saw me shuffle. I wasn't expecting to get these out, but these thrones are our birthright. So staying away from anybody who may want to trick you out of your spot, which doesn't always look like an overt action of, I want to be you, or I want what you have, or I almost poked my eye out there. It doesn't always look like that. Sometimes it looks like, hey girl, let's go out for a drink, or hey girl, let's go to this concert, or hey girl, someone invited me here, I need a +1. That is what that energy, that devil energy can look like. The devil wouldn't tempt you with things that look repulsive. The devil is going to test you with things that are appealing to you, or things that seem harmless, but the whole time it's to trick you, because it's like, yeah, it might seem harmless, but little do they know it's going to be their first and their last time doing that. Again, the message is clear. Take heed. There's a lot of things being orchestrated right now, and I'm getting the vibe of secret societies, and we're seeing a lot of what's going on. I think I'm going to do another channel message after this. Ooh, I know what channel message I'm going to do. But yeah, I'm getting heavy secret society industry vibes, to where there are things being orchestrated solely based on the energy to come. Not the energy that's present, but the energy that they know is coming. So basically, if they can set a trap and get you to fall in it, that energy that is definitely going to come, if you fall into that trap, they're going to be able to put that on. That's theirs. Snatchies. You can't get it. You're sick. You're recovering right now. So that's the plot right now, is to get us caught up, or to present these actually funny looking energies towards us in hopes that we don't understand what's going on, in hopes that we are not privy to the games that they're playing. And right now I'm being called to say to stay on your extra P's and Q's, because they think that our guards have been let down because we know the war is won. And although the war is won, there are going to be little quarrels and fights that are started up on the way. Ooh, burp confirmation. So yeah, they're going to try to put things in our way. This is not a time for you to be, oh yeah, I remember when they got me. Oh, I remember when this happened. This is not the time for that. It's the time to be focused on what they're trying to put in front of you, so you can avoid it, so you can move on with your life, so you don't get caught up in the damn, why did I do that? How did I fall into that trap? I was on such a good streak. I was just walking in the light. I just had my emotions intact. I just had all of the balance in the world, and now I'm burdened. Now I don't get to have my happy ending, and it's all because of my own doing. I wasn't emotionally intelligent enough, although I knew what was coming, because I know who I am. I'm a star. You're not going to want to get caught up in that energy. I'm not going to keep emphasizing that. I'm going to pull from one more deck. I should probably, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say I should get the names of these decks so you guys know. But yeah, no. And I do have the boxes and stuff. I don't care. So we are going to be pulling from, I think this is the Oracle deck. I don't know. I don't care. And we're going to see, is there anything else? Obstacles and challenges. So like I said, and disruption as the underlying energy and base chakra. So again, there are things that we are not seeing, rituals that are being performed to get us to miss these steps that are in work right now. And they will be trying things. I think I'm going to upload this on October 1st. So if you're seeing this on October 1st, just know that the energy is already at play. Those rituals that they're doing are actually like on the forefront right now. So specifically, they are stopping spiritual unions. And I've said this before, spiritual union doesn't always have to be with another person. Spiritual union, I think I said that in this video as well, is within. So again, having that cup, giving yourself a good cup to drink from. You're not going to be one to sipping no dirty right now. You need to keep your airways clear, because they do not want these spiritual unions, even if it is just within self. They don't want that to take place. So yes, they are going to be trying to send out everything and everyone to kind of throw you off your pivot or knock you off your pivot, and you can't let that happen. Rest and rejuvenate. I cannot make this up. I'm going to end the message here, because hibernate with the Hermit that came out, like I explained. We stack in the wintertime, or we grind in the wintertime to flex in the summertime. Grinding doesn't always look like, hustle culture. Grinding looks like doing what it takes to get a result. So my grind looks a lot like rest. It costs to look like this. And when you're resting, it's going to put you into that energy of recognition and reward, like I was saying. But it is going to take sacrifices, sacrificing these kindred connections, these events that people are going to be inviting you out to. And this is not to fearmonger or to make anyone paranoid, but do remember you have the resources and the tools to identify what's coming before it actually affects you, or before it even has the chance to present itself to you. A lot of you are going to be understanding this month that you get the plan before it even forms in the enemy's head. You have the drop on what they're about to do before they even think it, before they even write it down. So when you know that, you're able to cut your losses with emotional loss here, and you're really able to step into your own energy, withstand your ground. Like I said, you have to know who you are to come into spiritual union. And right now, this base chakra is heavy. So I don't know if semen retention will be important for anyone, or celibacy, or just keeping yourself to yourself. But maybe detox. I know that they have yoni steams and things of the sort. Kind of just clear out your sacral and your base chakra right now, because there are people that are pulling on it. But because y'all are getting the drop early, you will be triumphant in getting out of this, alive on the other side. You're not going to accept defeat because you know what's coming, and you're able to move on from these outdated timelines. Hashtag New World Order. Choose wisely. If you're on my channel, you don't have any excuse for falling behind, okay? You don't have an excuse. Choose wisely. If you are suffering in silence, or you will be suffering in silence, remember, it's because it's your own doing. And that's how these energies, they are past the point of trying to take credit for, like, oh yeah, I made her miss that opportunity. They're not on that time anymore. They're more so on, yeah, I made her miss that opportunity, and I made her do it herself. Yeah, I sent that energy to her way, and she took the bait. Oh, I sent a depressive spell. Someone said something, it got her in her feelings, and she's been tweeting reckless for the last 3 days. Oh yeah, I know she's gonna fall for this trap. I'm sending an entity that is gonna take her out. She's gonna get too drunk, and something's gonna happen to her. Choose wisely. Otherwise, you will be suffering in silence, and the only person to quote unquote blame would have been yourself. So yeah, harmony is needed, and again, I've explained all of this in the beginning. It starts within. So yeah, don't get caught up. Boredom, what do they say? An idle mind is the devil's playground, is the saying. So yeah, you might feel like this discontentment and boredom in the days to come, but that's okay, because wouldn't you rather be discontent and bored if you knew that financial and material changes were coming? If prosperity, being hopeful was next, if having this in your hands, if you had the wisdom to know, if I miss out on 5 parties, then I'm gonna make $1 million. You gonna miss them parties? I would hope so. I would hope YOLO is not your way of existing, to where you pass up $1 million for a couple of drinks and good vibe with people. I don't know now. I believe my collective is a little bit smarter than that to get caught up in temptation. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Love spending time with you guys. Check out the rest of the videos if you made it this far. I love you, and thanks for listening. I hope that you guys have an amazing, amazing October. Listen to your intuition and let your shadows guide you. Chat later.